that my abductions increased because I was saved, because I'm in Christ.
Why would God allow something like that where they would be impregnated like that?
I think they do gene altering after they take the child out of your womb.
Where are these babies now? I want you to go and sign up right now to davidheavener.tv. It's exclusive just to the members. You'll see we have 10 channels, okay? We have the Prophecy channel, Saving Baby channel, the original TV series channel, the Health and Survival channel. We have a new channel called the Alien Demon Disclosure Abduction channel, and it's got a lot of L.A. Marzulli's videos that I've done with him, but a lot of other videos by other people. You can see that channel right there. We've got a new show up called Underground Alien, and it's the only place you're going to see these. You will not see them anywhere else. Please go and support the ministry by signing up. You can get 2 months free if you do it now. davidheavener.tv. You were a Christian when you were abducted, right? Maybe,
well,
yeah.
Not in the beginning, but later on, yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So there was an abduction experience when you were actually a Christian. You were a child of God, right?
Yes.
Now, when they abducted you, being a child of God, did they perform the same? Was it the same protocol? Abducting, impregnating, dropping you off?
It certainly was.
Okay. All right. Now, I'm going to present something to you, and you may have thought about this, but if you were a Christian, you had God's DNA in you, and all of a sudden they're mixing that with the fallen. You see where I'm going with this?
I see where you're going with that.
The same thing is happening.
Interestingly enough, my abductions increased after I became saved, which sounds weird to those who are Christian. You know, you're Christian, you shouldn't be able to be abducted. That's not true. If you don't know your power in Christ, and you don't know who you are in Christ, and you're never taught spiritual warfare, they can continue to do this. And I personally believe, and that's funny that you bring it up, but I personally believe that my abductions increased because I was saved, because I'm in Christ, because of the blood that runs through my veins as a child of God. And they were trying to do more with that. I agree with that.
So you became impregnated, and was it your second trimester that they re-abducted you?
No, it's in your first trimester. But
okay.
From my calculations, between 6 to from 6 to 12 weeks, somewhere in there. And
oh, 6 to 12.
It's just before your second trimester starts usually.
All right. So where are these babies now when they take them out? What because you've had people interview you besides me, and you've talked to other people. What do you think the process is?
Well, I personally think, and this is from investigations that people like L.A. Marzulli, who's been on your show, and other people have done, I personally think they put them in the womb of a cow's uterus, that they, all these cow abduct, they snatch cows out, they take the organs out and do other experiments. And then I believe that they use this. I believe they also use the cow's blood to bring them to full term. And I also believe that they do experiments after taking, not experiments, I think they do gene altering after they take the child out of your womb. And then I believe that they're actually among us. I believe that this is what they're doing.
So let's break this down for someone just tuning in, and maybe they're going, "What? These people are nuts. What's going on here?" Twilight Zone.
Sounds crazy, yeah.
Yeah. So you're a child of God. They're abducting you. They're implanting a seed in you. But then they re-abduct you, and they take this, and I'm going to call it a baby. Okay. But then they need some place to put it. So they put it in a cow's womb, which is the subject that you brought up. And it goes into full term, let's say 9 months, baby's born. Now you have a baby. What would you call this baby? It's got parts.
This is a Nephilim. Technically, this would be a Nephilim, just a living Nephilim.
Yeah, this is the spirit. Thank you. This is the spirit of the Nephilim. Remember, I was talking to Ryan Pedersen that they made it through the ark. It's the spirit of. These spirits didn't die. So, you know what gets me is they go, "Oh, the Nephilim died." Oh, they died. How did they die? I mean, really? They don't die until Jesus comes back, opens his mouth, that sword comes out, and he slays the beast. That's when they die, and they get cast back into hell. So basically, your DNA, your blood, your seed, the seed of the Nephilim marries to you. I'm using you as an example. The baby is birthed, and let's say this was, how many years ago was the last one for you, roughly?
I believe it was over 8 years ago. They do it pretty regularly, and it picked up when I hit about age 30 something, when I became saved and turned my life over to Christ. It increased where it was happening a lot, but then sometimes there's breaks in between that could be 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. And so now if you lined up these babies, they would be anywhere from 20 years old to 8 years old. Okay, you'd be looking at them. Now, these children are put in society, are put out in places.
Eventually.
Yeah,
yes.
Exactly. So now I want to take a step further on that. Just like, and I talked about the border, coming over the border, you don't have to have a passport. You don't have to have identification. You basically start as a brand new person because you can't prove who you are. So, Christy, could it be that some of these are coming across the border now? They're bringing them across the border?
Just to get a new identification, a new person. Absolutely.
Exactly. It could be in the witness protection program. I talked about that. I talked about, well, impersonating, that's a different story we'll get into. But anyway, so you resonate with some of the things I'm talking about.
I do. I think they would use this as a tactic, yes, to get and be immersed into our society. I definitely would agree with that.
Right. And then their agenda now, they have the agenda that they're going to support the disclosure, the spaceship that shows up. They're going to be part of that. As you can imagine, Secret Service, they're going to be secret Satan service that's going to be mingling about, right?
Well, it's a question for you, David. Seriously, I would like to know what you think about all this horrible stuff that is going on to God's favored children. And I mean, I'm not saying favorite, I'm saying favored. Because anybody born again of God's spirit is highly favored of God. Why would God allow something like that where they would be impregnated like that? Why would God allow that to his children that are highly favored?
That's a very legit question. You know what? This would fall in the category of, why does a 2-year-old baby have cancer? Okay. Why? What is it? You see, it's not the things that happen to God's children. It's how God's children respond to the things that happen. Okay. The thing that happened to Christy, to me, is no more out there than a person come to me and said, David, I was on heroin for 20 years. I was on heroin for 20 years. Terrible things happen to people, and God takes those and turns them around and slits the enemy's throat with it. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for Christy coming on, these bad things happening, we may not have the insight that we have, but because she's a child of God, she's a warrior, she's willing to stand up and tell the truth. This is what we need to focus on. And we have the new End Times DVD, 8 hours of me investigating things like Satanism, demonic powers, Illuminati, New World Order, Antichrist, one world religion, end times miracles, Bible prophecy, and the alien demon connection with L.A. Marzulli. So text the word chosen to 91999 or go to davidheavener.tv/order or call 844-806-0006. The brand new DVD of Last Evangelist. You can get it right now. It's limited collector's edition. It's got the new episode on it, along with band videos with me and Michael Lake and Lisa Haven, Sheila Lazinski. Also, if you want to see Last Evangelist, the episode, it's exclusively episode 1 on davidheavener.tv.
How can people be a participant and help you bring the Last Evangelist story to the public?
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah. We set it up as the model like The Chosen, where you can go and donate. You can actually be the financier on it. You go to lastevangelist.com and you can donate. You can be an actor, you can be a producer, you can be, or just donate. Special thank you. Hey everybody, I am honored and blessed not to have just one new book out, but 2 new books. That's right, 2 new books. The first one is End Times Investigation. I deal with Hollywood mind control. I deal with demon portals, the alien-demon connection, astral projection, program multiples, satanic ritual abuse, and much, much more. The things that I talk about in Last Evangelist and on my shows, all my interviews I do, it's right here in this book, especially my life story. Also, True Power, how to access your true power in these last days, okay? It's a war manual for God's children. We need to learn the enemy's tactics and how to battle the enemy in these last days. Pick up a copy of this book. Just text the word chosen to 91999, or you can go to davidheavener.tv/order, or you can simply call 844-806-0006.